Okay, now it says it's reconnected. What the hell? There we go. Apparently, OBS is having a goof up here. Tonight was a series premiere of Kane Worldwide. Yeah, it was a hell of a match. I'll be honest with you, though. Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Am I coming through clear? Can you guys hear me okay? Because right as I started streaming, my program that I use here disconnected on me. Stream resumed. Okay. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to get us back live here. Anyway, let me go ahead and need to block John for tonight's episode. I wouldn't go that far. I mean, as people upstairs are... My son's upstairs having a fit, guys. I'm sorry. You know, I swear to God, I have an 8-year-old. He'll turn 9 in July, and trying to get him to go to sleep is like pulling fucking teeth, I swear. Anyway, we're sorry for the opening snafu. Thank you so much for joining us here on the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show. The family is... Hey, RJ, thank you so much for coming in. Wrestling God, thank you for coming in here tonight. And, of course, Jonathan Miller, thank you so much. If you hear slamming doors in the background, that's because my 8-year-old son will not go to sleep, and he's having a fit. He's got ADD and ODD. He's not right, guys. That's my boy, though. I love him to death. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining on tonight. Kane Worldwide Episode 1. We'll get there. CWF Mid-Atlantic, how do y'all like the new logo, first off? How do you like that new logo? If you smack children around hard enough, they tend to get... Not mine. Not mine. Let me tell you, I'll just put it that way. My kid laughs at me. That new logo that you see on your screen, beautiful logo. I love that logo. That logo is awesome. Thank you to the boys over at American Lucha Designs for the new logo. If you need a new logo designed for your podcast, any merchandising done for your podcast, or if you're a pro wrestler, over at... Get my boy drunk. No way. If you're a pro wrestler who is in need of merchandise, new logo design for your gear, then boys at American Lucha Designs can hook you up. Head on over to their newly revamped website at AmericanLuchaDesigns.com right now. Also, this episode of the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic Worldwide After Show right here on the From Pillar to Post YouTube channel is brought to you by Bullock's Engraving in Henderson, North Carolina. If you need any engraving done, let's say you have a bowling team and everybody wants to get a trophy made, or, you know, the softball season, baseball season will be starting up here in a few more months. Spring ball. Get those trophies engraved. Head on over to Bullock's Engraving in Henderson, North Carolina. Tell them the After Show sent you here. Mention the CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show. Get 10% off your order. How about that deal? We got new subscriber shout-outs to get to before we get into episode 143 of CWF Mid-Atlantic Worldwide. We got one here. I was told that another one followed me, but I couldn't. For some reason, it's not showing up, so we'll get to you next week. Let me refresh one more time here just to make sure. Okay. Yeah, it's not showing up here. How about a shout-out for the CWF Strong card? We'll get there. Auntie Social 2 is now following us on Twitch. Thank you very much, Auntie Social, and feel free to jump in the chat room here. McAllister says they can engrave paddles to beat your kids. I don't need a paddle. Do it old school. Can they engrave switches? I shouldn't say that nowadays, man. The social justice warriors would be like, he spanks his kid. If I had a nickel for every time I was spanked and beat as a child, I wouldn't be here. Let me tell you that. I'd be on a beach somewhere. I was a little bastard growing up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to give us a call, feel free to call the show. The phone lines are open, 434-710-4900. I'll move the number down to where you can see it better, 434-710-4900. And we'll go ahead and talk to you here. We got a lot to talk about because this episode, while it was only 38 minutes long, it was pretty darn awesome. I may have to take a commercial break to go see what the hell's going on upstairs because I know if I can hear that, you guys can. That's fucking embarrassing. My family knows I do a radio show live once a week. It's the highest rated thing I fucking do, and they want to act up. Sounds like the missus is taking care of things. That's why I need to soundproof the studio, I guess. The basement, if you will. Not just growing up, I bet. Yeah, I'm a bastard now. What can I say? So we got opened up with a little bit of a preview of last week, or a recap of last week with the Hurricane becoming the CWF Worldwide TV Champion. And he will be there this Saturday, as we found out, at CWF Strong. Head on over to CWFtickets.com. I just got my VIP ticket tonight, along with my CWF Strong T-shirts, which are being produced by the American Lucha Design Boys. Yeah, I got to go to commercial. We will be back after I get my kids straight. Let me just... Oh, man, this is fucking embarrassing, but... I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to go cue them. You know you will not be hearing it. I will not take the microphone upstairs. I'm wired up. Oh, man. Oh, wait. Has it quieted down now? Maybe it has. Okay, we're good. No dumb ninja movie. No. The ninja movie wasn't dumb. Had Roy Wilkins in it. Anyway. Kevin Gales goes, this is why I don't have children. Believe me, if I could turn back time, I don't know if I would. It's sad to say, isn't it? But it's true. So we open up the show with Cam Carter versus Eric Andrews. CL Party doing the intros. Huge shout out to CL Party. She is awesome. And Eric, once again, has a special intro that he wants CL to do. And she does a really good delivery of this. Hashtag Mario, hashtag nutmeg. That's right. Dude, you got to make that sign for Saturday. You know, Roy Wilkins brand nutmeg. On the other side, it'll be like Roy Wilkins brand bubble wrap. Or just do everybody needs to bring bubble wrap for Roy on Saturday. Yeah, and just pop it during his entrance. I have some upstairs, I believe, unless my kids got into all of it. You could have a Roy Wilkins brand bubble wrap now with 30% more nutmeg. See, the thing is, though, if you bring the bubble wrap for Roy, are you leaning into avoid, annoying fan territory? It's like when people bring toilet paper instead of streamers to shows. Anyway, CL Party does a damn good delivery of the intro, making it sound like she just would rather be reciting anything. She would probably rather reciting Shakespeare than that. Won't have a new logo in time, but I'm definitely bringing the bubble wrap. Throw it like streamers at him. Yes, we should. We should. Okay. That's official. This Saturday. That's how I'll know you listen to the after show. If you're there this Saturday, throw bubble wrap at Roy. So, Eric goes for a cover early on in the match, and Cam Carter bridges out of it, gives him the old no, sir. I thought that was awesome. The commentary here tonight was great. Smith Garrett and Cecil Scott on commentary were freaking amazing this episode, putting over how Cam Carter has a little bit more confidence now, stating that Carter's too quick as he hits a drop kick. Eric Andrews starts focusing on the lower back. Eric Andrews does a body slam. A body slam. Tried that once with whistles. Didn't go over well. See, the whistles thing is just too annoying. But the bubble wrap? Come on. Don't throw shit in the ring, please. It's not like we're throwing nachos. Nah, see, I wouldn't dare bring streamers or anything to throw in the ring at CWF. It'd be nice. I mean, we could just sit in the crowd and pop it. Just pop the bubble wrap. Not throw it in the ring. So, again, Eric Andrews goes for a body slam. Just a, I won't say simple body slam, but it's a basic body slam. And the commentary for this, Smith is like, that's a body slam, but it hurts so much better the higher you go, putting over Eric Andrews' height. I never thought a body slam could come across so vicious like it did tonight. It did. The commentary just sold it perfectly. We get a huge kick to the face by Cam. Fall away slam later on in the match by Andrews. And a second rope 450. A 450 off the middle rope. The second rope. That was crazy. And then Cam wins with a standing sliced bread, Selena del Sol. Cecil Scott gave it the traditional Japanese name for the move. I won't try to pronounce it. I called it a standing sliced bread because it's pretty much what it was. I like this match. I like it a lot. It's not the first time these two have fixed, and it's one of the better matches they've had. Eric Andrews can afford to lose because he's got that golden ticket. Cam gets a boost off the win. The commentary put it over like it was the upset of the century. It was damn good. I enjoyed it. Wouldn't mind seeing those two lock it up again. I think that I said that the last time they went at each other. So then we get the Dirty Daddy versus Donnie Dollars, and Dirty is in his all-black ring attire again, hinting at a potential heel turn for the Dirty Daddy. Because if they're wearing black, they must be heels. We get a lockup, and Donnie Dollars automatically has his way with him. He goes to leave, says, I have nothing to prove to you idiots. I have nothing to prove to him at all either. And then Ray Kandrak enters out of nowhere. Him and Donnie go at it at ringside. Donnie Dollars gets back in the ring, and Dirty Daddy hits a sling blade on him and then ends up hitting Ray Kandrak. Ray ends up hitting a hell of a back breaker, followed by the ray gun. Then a gigantic headbutt to Donnie Dollars and another ray gun to him. Looks at him and goes, I'm good, thanks guys. And the crowd cheers as he walks off. I think this is an awesome way to put Ray over and to get Ray back into the mix is just have him come out and be 911. Have him come out and just destroy people. I feel like you're right in the chat room. I love getting to see Donnie. I'm a big fan too. I feel like we don't see enough Donnie Dollars in CWF, but he's been there so long, man. He's been there a long time. As the kids are yelling again. Anyway, you're going to have to put up my family yelling in the background at each other. It's primarily my kid. Anyway. Mario says that they don't call him dirty for nothing. I think he'll turn in Chapel Hill next month. That's something that Jonathan Miller put out to me a couple months ago, since after the Rumble, maybe before the Rumble. Anyway, I think that this is the perfect way to do it. Just milk it slow and sweet. Chapel Hill's not until like March, I think. CL Party is in the control center for CWF Strong, and we get a drawing for the TV title, and it's Brad Attitude. So we have Brad Attitude facing Hurricane Shane Helms at CWF Strong for the Mid-Atlantic TV title. I gotta say, if Shane Helms retains, it shocks the piss out of me. It really does. If we see Shane Helms stick around for another couple shows, it would surprise me. It would really greatly surprise me. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I mean, you have all these people out there groaning that Shane Helms is the TV champion and that, is he going to stick around or whatever? I guarantee you those same people are going to go, you see, he only stuck around for one title defense. So? Your point is? Then we got Kane versus Jesse Adler. The commentary, a little bit of behind-the-scenes build saying these two have been brewing forever and been a bit of a Twitter feud as well. There's just so much in this match I wrote down. I'm not going to try to call all of it, or not going to try to sit here and go through it all. I'll just say this was a fantastic match live. I thought it came off much better live than it did on CWF. On Worldwide, on YouTube. The commentary was freaking amazing. But I don't think that, honestly, again, the match was much better live than it was on tape. So I think that I just think that, there are some matches that you got to be there for. And when they announced that match online, I think they announced it online, I was like, okay, that match is like Chip and Trevor was last year. Not my match quality, because Chip and Trevor was better than this, but it's one of those matches where when they released that, when they announced that, that's one of those matches that you got to circle your calendar for. It's one of those matches where when they announced that, okay, I got to be there for this one. I got to make the drive. I got to spend the money. I got to make the time to see this one. Because I'll be honest with you, last year I was not going to go to night 2 of that Chronodal Cup. I was just going to skip it. And then 2 or 3 days before, the Wednesday before, they announced Chip and Trevor, and I was like, plans are canceled. Guess where I'm going this weekend? That's why Mario in the chat room, that's why everyone should be live at every match. I agree. Jonathan Miller goes, really? I loved it on YouTube. If you're just see, the thing is, and that's where I'm biased, is because I do go to a lot of these shows live. And I feel like we're at we're biased because people like me, people like Mario, people like, Wrestling God in the chat room. We're there live. It's just something magical about being there live that you just got to be there for, Can't do that. I'm 67 hours away. That I understand. I mean, but, it's just, I feel like there's going to be a bias here on this show, as there always has been. I mean, if something comes across better on YouTube than it does live, I've been quick to say that too. There's a lot of matches. Go back and listen to the archives here on the channel. There's a lot of matches that I said last year that came off better on YouTube than they did live, and it was because of the commentary. It was because of the camera angles. It was because of the promos beforehand or something. There's a lot of matches out there that come across better live, or come across better on YouTube than live. It can go both ways. Sometimes it can be equal. Chip and Trevor was just as good live as it was on YouTube. The Rumble just as good live as it was on YouTube. All of Battlecade, same thing. We got a lot of hard-hitting shots, a lot of slaps back and forth between these two in this match. Adler's diving. Kane is... I loved when Kane is like, why are y'all moving? What's going on here? And then up here comes Adler with the dive. I love how Kane sending Adler's arm into the ring post over and over and over. Comes, throws him back in and just sits on him with the lackadaisical cover. We got a top wrist lock in the match by Kane. Kane, of course, working over the arm like he always does. And then Kane doing that cocky walk around a laid-out Adler was perfect heel stuff. Somebody says, any way that you get a chance to see CWF, watch it and support the company. I agree. Any way you could support the company, watching it live, watching it on YouTube, doing both like I do. Smith mentions that he has been that Kane or Adler was being beaten from pillar to post. What else is called from pillar to post? Oh, that's right, the channel you're listening to this on. And we thank you very much for listening. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you're on Twitch, hit that follow button. I want to get as many followers as I can on Twitch as well. Been streaming a lot on Twitch lately. Kane's working the left arm, and Cecil says he's a master at working the arm. Master arm work. And, Smith goes, no, I don't think he's a master at it. And Cecil goes, well, his mom likes him, though. Which I laughed at. We got a huge crossbody by Adler. Looked like he landed right on Kane's base. Adler with a shooting star press, standing shooting star press, and Kane kicks out. Kane then goes to the outside and spits in Adler's face. I love the spot where they were up on the top rope. Kane, first of all, tells the crowd to, get up. And I'm sitting right there, and he's just looking at us from the apron. He's like, get up. And nobody moves. Kane is just like, then runs over like a freaking maniac. It just scares everybody away. And then he acts like he's going to suplex Adler onto the outside of the ring. Loved it. I loved it. I don't think it would have had the same meaning if he just would have went with a superplex and everybody was still standing there. No, he went outside and was like, y'all are going to listen to me. Get the fuck out of my way, So then we get after the, Adler reverses it and gives him a superplex inside the ring. Then we get more slaps back and forth. We get a pump kick by Kane that misses, and enziguri by Adler. Hey, thank you, RJ, for following me on Twitch. I greatly appreciate that. Then we get after the enziguri, we get a huge clothesline by Kane. 540 kick later on by Adler. A standing shooting star press. No water in the pool, though. As Kane then gets the twist ending for the win. Kane, after the match, takes the camera, shoots the CWF banner, points at the CWF banner. And that was our episode. 38 minutes this week. Short, sweet, to the point, covered all the bases. Nothing wrong with a 30-minute or, a 38-minute, 45-minute show. Nothing wrong with it. If you could go in there, put over what you need to put over, tell the stories that you need to tell in 38 minutes, by all means, go ahead and do so. It gave me more time to prepare for the show. Says if you caught it, Mama Justice was cheering on Adler. Kane puts his fingers to his lips and shushed her. It's because she was sitting beside Adler's mom. Jonathan Miller goes, this proves I'm an even bigger fan than Mama Justice. Suck it, Bruce and Johnny P. That's Miller saying that, not me. I read the chats as they come across the screen. We're taking your phone calls tonight. I want to know what you thought about this episode of Worldwide and what you think about the upcoming CWF Strong card. You can give us a call tonight, 434-710-4900. That's 434-701-4900. That should say 710. Sorry, let me fix that real quick. I don't know how that got reversed. Hold on. There we go. 434-710-4900. That's 434-710-4900. Give me a call if you want to call in tonight. I do apologize for that, guys. Don't forget my EA shirts on Saturday. I'm sure they won't forget. I got me a I believe they announced that if you get a CWF Strong shirt, if you buy one prior to Saturday and get it set to pick up on Saturday, I think you're entered into a gift card for a local restaurant. So I went ahead and got my shirt. I'm going to be picking it up Saturday. Can't wait to sit there and wear it during the show. Those boys at American Lucha Designs, they put out good work. They really do. So let's talk about this CWF Strong card. We got the return of Trevor Lee, so Lord knows what he's going to do. Maybe Sanction 2 will be dropped down from William Cross. Who knows what Sanction 2 is? Oh, it's the Texas Road. Oh, dude, Texas Roadhouse. Me and my girl love some Texas Roadhouse, and I'm planning on taking her out there. $60? That's a meal right there, folks. That's Valentine's Day right there. Buy you a shirt, get entered into the gift card. You win the gift card. That's your Valentine's Day date right there, man. So we get the return of Trevor Lee. Lord knows what he's going to do with Roy Wilkins and the All-Stars. Here's what I'm hoping.
I come to see a man get his ass whipped.
Michael_Young is now following on Twitch. Thank you so much, Mike. I very much appreciate that. Man, got subscribers during the show, followers during the show. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. I very much appreciate that. So I'm hoping Trevor Lee comes out guns a-blazing, so to speak. Quote, unquote, guns a-blazing. I got to put it in quotes so people will be like, you made anybody bring a gun to the show? You know, it's 2018. The SJW is a joke on me if I don't use my air quotes. He needs to come out there guns a-blazing. He needs to come out there hunting for bear. He needs to come out there, you know, hunting for the All-Stars. Get his title back and rule some ass. That's what needs to happen. We need to see a vicious Trevor Lee from a booking standpoint, and I think the fans want it too. We need to see a vicious Trevor Lee this weekend. You have a Kane gif, but no Ole. I can't find an Ole Anderson gif that's just Ole Anderson. Forget about Ole Anderson. He's too old. There's no gifs out there of Ole. I could do a Four Horsemen one with Ole in it, but that's about it. Anyway. We also have Chet Sterling versus John Schuyler signed. Now, you talk about a match right there. That match right there, oh my Lord, man. That has me giddy on paper. On paper, that match looks just freaking, it just sounds amazing when you put those two names against each other. Chet Sterling versus John Schuyler? I can't find the subscribe button. It's right underneath the video. It should be. Unless you're that drunk tonight, McAllister. And then Brad Attitude versus the Hurricane Shane Helms. I will say, on paper, I got excited when they announced it, but the more I think about it, I'm sitting there going, if Hurricane doesn't bring his freaking A game, man, I mean, I hope this is like, that to me, with proper build, is Battlecade worthy if Hurricane works like I think he should. But anyway, Chet versus Skyler may be match of the night. I'm going to call it right now and say that will be match of the night. I'm going to go ahead and say that right now. Chet Sterling versus John Skyler is going to be match of the night. If you want to see something epic, you probably need to get your ass to Gibsonville this Saturday. That's all I'll say. Go to CWFtickets.com right now. Get your tickets. I'll probably find him when Ole isn't old. Well, he ain't getting any younger. He's just sitting there getting more and more bitter about the business. Anyway. 434-710-4900. I want to know what you thought about tonight's episode. We got a lot of people in our chat room, a lot of new subscribers tonight. I very much appreciate it. Let me see here. What else does CWF have coming up? I know that they rescheduled the Chapel Hill show. Let's go to CWFtickets.com and see what they have here. Brad should bring pancakes and leave them outside the ring for luck. I wouldn't go that far. That's a little bit too silly for CWF. February 17th, it's a Saturday. Rising Generation League presents Rise into the Top at the Sportatorium. Tickets are just $10 for that one. Go to CWFtickets.com. CWF Mid-Atlantic presents End of an Era, Saturday, February 24th in Gibsonville at the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium. Get your tickets now. Somebody says, age schmage, Kane's still better even if Ole was in his prime. Wow. And
thank you for using callmylostphone.com.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Okay. We got some prank callers tonight. And then March 10th at Chapel Hill. It's called The Big Payback. Of course, your boy Snooty Fox going up against Eric Royal in a Chapel Hill street fight. That's at the Hargraves Community Center, bell time 7:30, March 10th, 2018. Get your tickets now at CWFtickets.com. You can also call 919-923-5419. That's 919-923-5419 to get tickets for the Chapel Hill event. That is March 10th. McAllister, I know that was you that pranked my ass. Anyway. So yeah, they already got events scheduled up through March. And then March 24th, I want to say Queens of Combat is returning to the Sportatorium. I'll go ahead and put over that. Had a good time last time Queens of Combat was there. And they must have listened to me, the Queens of Combat people. Because as my friend Matthew Acosta put out there, they must have listened. Because the poster now says, for mature audiences. So do not bring your kids to Queens of Combat Saturday, March 24th at the Sportatorium. McAllister goes, I was actually thinking, can you call your lost phone? Apparently you can. But nowadays they have like those GPS chips on there where Apple can like find your phone instantly as long as it's on. That Queens of Combat show, by the way, is a doubleheader. I'm kind of excited for this one, to tell you the truth, because Jordan Grace is going to be there. And if you watched my video talking about people that I want to see in CWF in 2018, but probably won't. she was one of them. So at least we'll get to see her in the Sportatorium, you know. Wrestling God says, I want to see Tessa fucking Blanchard. Not touching it. Anyway. I like Tessa. Kevin Gale says, bring your kids, just don't bring Tessa. Shit. I like Tessa's work. But rumor is, like I said on that video that I did right after their last Queens of Combat show about a month ago, she's known for being hard to work with. Another person who's like that, Austin Aries, has notoriously been known to be hard to work with in the business, but I like his work. Maybe we could get an F-bomb counter on the Jumbotron in the CWF arena. So they already have the new tag team champions. Ruthless Ambition's going to be there. Penelope Ford, Maria Manic. Sue Young is going to be there. Let's see here. Who else? Hudson Envy is coming back. Yay. I love me some Hudson Envy. She is awesome. Many more to be announced. I asked him today on Twitter. I was like, is there going to be a Jordan Grace meet and greet? I do too. She was just so unprofessional. Yeah. Wrestling Guy goes, I wonder if Tessa is available to babysit. Somebody needs to babysit her after that promo. Something tells me she didn't get a talking to as much as I think she did if the for mature audiences thing is being thrown up there. Either that or they listened to my video and was like, he's probably right. Because there were kids there, you know. Snooty Fox brung his kids, for crying out loud, to see that show. Poor Snooty and his kids. He got kids, man. Watch the language. Maria Manic is getting a WWE tryout. That got released by Squared Circle Sirens. Reported that, I think, today. And if anybody deserves a shot, it's Maria Manic. Oh, my God. If there's anybody that Vince would just cream his pants over, it's Maria Manic. Just look at the way she's built, man. She's a freaking bodybuilder, for crying out loud. Somebody's booing Snooty. Jonathan Miller's booing Snooty Fox. I wasn't booing him. I felt sorry for him. I felt sorry for anybody who brought their kids to that event that night. That was freaking crazy. She can do that down there in Wrestle Circus or wherever where there are no kids, but anyway. 434-710-4900 if you want me to find your lost phone. If you want to chat about tonight's Worldwide, you want to chat about this Saturday, chat at CWF in general. What did Tessa say? She cut just a promo just talking about how she's been looked over and she dropped the F-bomb every other word and the S word. If it wanted the F word, it was the S word and MF and, oh, man. Buy Queens of Combat 20 and 21. It's all there. I guarantee you they're not going to probably edit that out. I did a video reviewing that show, man. I did a video reviewing that show, and it was fresh in my mind when I reviewed it. I can't recant the whole promo right here, but I'll be honest. I got a mouth like a sailor myself. I'm not opposed to hearing people cuss, but on High Spots Network, probably if it's been released, it's probably on there. I mean, I'm not opposed to hearing cursing at a wrestling show. There's times when Trevor cusses, for crying out loud. Hell, during the Rumble, when he's slapping Kane during that end sequence, he's like, "Who the hell do you think you are? You ain't shit," you know. First thing my kids said when they got home that night was that there was a lot of F-bombs, and it's true, you know. And it does, you know. Again, I'm not opposed to it, and it does nowadays make the product seem a little bit more edgy and a little bit more real because WWE's PG, so we got to go the other direction to make things a little bit more legitimate now. But try to read the room a little bit. One F-bomb, okay. 2 F-bombs, okay. 1 GD, okay. Every other word, eh. Met a guy at a Firestar show that told me he'd stopped taking his family to CWF because Trevor was cursing. Trevor doesn't curse all the time, though. That's the thing. Trevor doesn't curse all the time. CWF is way more, to me, CWF is family friendly. You can bring your kids there and have a good time. There's a lot of kids there all the time. I stopped bringing my kid partly because he just doesn't want to go anymore. And it's not a knock against the product. He just doesn't want to leave the house. He'd rather stay at home and play his video games than go to wrestling now. And that's age. Is it really that big of a deal? It depends. Like I said, 1 F-bomb, 2 F-bombs, a GD here and there, okay. Watch the 6 o'clock news. You'll get that there. But when it's every other word and there's kids sitting there and the fans around me are going, good God, watch your language. Hashtag Star-Lord. I wonder, Star-Lord, man, I'm kind of glad they didn't make reference to Star-Lord during that match last week. Because it would have taken away from it. That's one of those matches that came off better on YouTube than it did live. And most of all, the reason is the crowd was just fucking dead. And it had nothing to do with the work in the ring. The crowd just did not know how to take the night. Hell, even tonight, Mama Justice is sitting there chanting CWF, and the crowd ain't chanting with her. And finally, you can hear her go, y'all are too quiet for me tonight. And it was not the wrestler's fault. It was a show that was a week after that bad situation. The crowd knew about it. And they didn't know how to take the product that night. I guarantee you they won't be that way this Saturday. They shouldn't be that way this Saturday anyway. CWF Strong coming your way this Saturday from the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium. Get your tickets now, CWF247.com. Also available at CWF247.com. If you click on clothing, the special CWF Strong t-shirt is available. Ordered mine tonight. You can get yours now. You can get it shipped to you if you live out of state and you're not able to make it there Saturday. Or you can pick it up at the door. All proceeds from the shirts goes to help Crossroads, which is a crisis counseling center in Alamance County, North Carolina. Come out and support a good cause. Support the promotion. The promotion needs your support right now more than ever. I got to say, man, I'm really looking forward to Saturday. I'm really looking forward to March 24th for Queens of Combat again. I mean, I look at it this way. It must not have offended me that much if I'm going back. But I'll go ahead and say it. The main reason why I want to go on the 24th is to see Sue Young again, to see Hudson Envy again, and to meet Jordan Grace. That's it. I think they're doing a... Oh, Lord, here we go. Is this to find my iPhone, people? Hello, you're on the CWF AfterShow. Who am I talking with? Hello, area code 919.
Hey, what's up, Joe? It's Mario.
What's going on, man?
How's it going?
Not bad, not bad, not bad. Kevin Gales on the chat room says, birthday weekend, Queens of Combat. That's a good way to spend your birthday.
Man. I missed the last Queens of Combat, and I am sorely sorry that I did.
Honestly, dude, that promo that she cut, it was one of those things where it was like, okay, I was really divided on it. Like I said, one part of me is like, okay, she cussed. It was, shock value. The other part of me, after hearing, because immediately afterwards I started hearing shit on dark Twitter, quote unquote dark Twitter, about how she's been hard to work with, and this is the reason why she won't get a WWE deal, and she's pissed people off in NXT while she was there. you know. And then she's cutting a promo talking about how she's been effing held back, and it was crazy. I would have loved to seen your reactions, you and Jason's reactions if y'all were there live.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to be at the next Queens of Combat. Jordan Grace is going to be there, and we actually did some work for Jordan Grace a while back, and I'm excited to. I actually haven't met her in person yet, so I'm excited to do that and see how she's doing and get up with her. So we're excited for that one for sure.
Yeah, man. I noticed y'all did some stickers for her, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We also did about we actually did about 6 designs for her, and that was the one that she picked for the first round. And then I think we're going to be doing some more for her shortly, maybe for that show. I don't know. I'll have to get up with her and see. But speaking of logos, that's a sexy looking logo you got up there right now.
It is, man. I said that at the top of the show. That's the best way to describe that logo. It's just dead sexy, man.
I call it. So what I do is I what do you call it? I sling your podcast to my big screen from my phone so I can type on my computer, but have it up on the big screen. And I'll tell you what, on the big screen, it looks fantastic in HD.
I was gonna say that logo looks real good in 1080p or 4K right now.
It really does.
I'm streaming.
Really does.
I'm actually streaming at 720. I could go up to 1080 if my computer could handle it, but that may be coming in the future. But I look at it this way.
I'm not.
I do a podcast.
I'm not trying to blow my own horn, but man, that was good.
Dude, beep, man. You showed that to me, and I was like, I want to get T-shirts made with that logo. I got permission to use the logo for the T-shirts and for the logo, and I'm sitting there going, I like the leather background, but the leather background's not going to look good on a shirt.
No, probably not. We could definitely hook it up though. We'll definitely talk. We can make that happen. We'll
have to talk. You coming Saturday?
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, man.
I'm not gonna miss Saturday for the world.
Nah, man.
I think I'm the first person to actually physically have their CWF Strong shirt in hand.
Nice. Well, I ordered
perks of being the ones that made the shirt.
I ordered my size fat, so y'all better have it there.
We've got plenty of size fat.
That's awesome.
I have one, so we have to, right?
That's the thing about American Lucha Designs, guys. If you're listening to this and you're thinking about getting merch done, if you're a worker who thinking about getting merch done, they can do something that a lot of websites don't, and that's provide you with bigger sizes. I can't stand when I go to first time I went up to Trevor Lee's merch table, I was going to buy a shirt, and this is like a couple years ago. I asked him, I says, dude, I make it a bit of a joke. I'm like, hey, do you have size fat? You have big sizes? He goes, I only go up to a 2X. I haven't been able to wear a 2X since I was 16, bro.
Wow.
You need something bigger than that.
Yeah, the catch to the larger sizes, and we definitely do that. I believe the CWF Strong shirts go up to 5X.
Yeah, but they cost a couple dollars more, which is understandable.
Yeah, they cost a little bit extra, which is why some of the talent chooses not to order them, because it seriously cuts into your bottom line. There's only so much you can charge for a shirt. Yeah. And when you get charged an additional $5, $6, $7 for plus size shirts, it really eats at your ability to sell them at $20.
Kevin Gales in the chat room goes, #team size fat. That's a hell of a hashtag right there.
There's a new shirt right there.
That's a new shirt right there.
American Lucha Designs, we offer size fat.
#size fat. Don't be fat shaming me. #size
None, yeah,
fat.
the social justice warriors, they'll pop out of nowhere.
I know, right? The SJWs will be all on you.
That's awesome. Yeah, man.
The card for this Saturday looks good. What's your thoughts on the 3 matches that are announced?
That's exactly what I was just about to say. I am really excited about the Shane Helms matchup. Really excited about Chet Sterling versus John Schuyler. Man, those two are going to be epic. But that's not even everybody was saying that Hurricane Helms match is going to be match of the night.
Nah, man.
I'm not too sure.
Nah.
I can't wait to see what Trevor Lee does inside that ring.
I don't think he's going to do it. Here's the thing. He may or may not even have a match. We can get an angle out of this, and it'd be just as good as if he was to wrestle,
You might be right.
just the way they're going with this,
Right.
the way they're going with this, and the outsiders sitting there going, the internet is sitting there, the other podcasters are sitting there going, well, the authority, the office, it makes the office look dumb and stupid logic wise, and part of me thinks that they got part of me thinks that they were listened to because they have been doing cutting in promos with Cross and everything, last week talking about, hey, you're getting fined $100 a day. So who knows?
Yeah, it would definitely make sense. Like I can see where it's easy for them to put in, where Trevor Lee maybe doesn't have a match, and maybe like they take these sanctions a step further. Like I can definitely see that happening, but I also find it really hard to imagine that Trevor Lee, not having wrestled since Battlecade, not having a matchup with Roy Wilkins.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna have a match with Roy. Uh-oh. Thank you, Six Sided Podcast, for subscribing to the channel. We greatly much appreciate it. Glad to see all these new followers and subscribers tonight. Thank you guys so much. I love each and every one of you. But I don't think we're going to see a Roy Wilkins versus Trevor Lee match, because storyline-wise, if you're smart, you put that on the End of an Era show.
Yeah.
But something tells me, we got that First Blood match, and everybody was allowed to pile in. Everybody was allowed to, be at ringside and interfere. The next logical step, and I know Sophia's in the chat room, and everybody can agree, somebody could correct me, but I haven't seen it in person, and I haven't gone back and watched it. The next logical step for these two is some sort of a cage, something that prevents Coach and everybody from coming in. Not saying that it'll work, because nowadays in wrestling, cages don't mean shit when it comes to blocking people out. But something tells me that we're going to get something set up at End of an Era. Something also tells me, like I said, last year when somebody goes, I'll be waiting for Indie Insiders late Saturday for the results. But my last year, we had a big debate here on the After Show about when somebody touched Eric Andrews' title, he didn't flip his shit. But a couple weeks later, a couple months later, somebody touched Trevor Lee's title, and he went ape shit. How dare you touch my damn title? Or even he, speaking of cursing, hey, that's my fucking belt, is exactly what he said, and he beat the shit out of whoever. I'm hoping we get that times 10, because they've right. Stolen his belt. It's not like they've just touched it or picked it up off the announce table. He's walking around with that around his waist, booking matches and shit,
Before Trevor Lee had a chance to have it around his waist.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's my wishful thinking, because I just want it to happen so badly. Just, that's, again, this is one of those, live versus, worldwide things, but being at Battlecade at the end of the show, where they had all the All-Stars in the ring, dismantling the ropes off the sides and then wrapping it around Trevor Lee's neck. And I mean, just watching that, it was infuriating. I hated it. I loved it, but I hated it. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those things where like, I can't wait to see the flip side of this. I want that to happen so badly. I can't wait to see him, exact his retribution when he has that opportunity, and I want that opportunity to come sooner rather than later. Maybe that's my own wishful thinking.
Speaking of Eric Royal, Taylor in our chat room. Hi, Taylor. Thank you for coming in and listening tonight. Says Eric Royal won't even be there Saturday. He's in New Jersey, so he will not be there to attack Trevor. I'm kind of sad that Eric won't be there this Saturday. I mean,
yeah, that sucks.
But they
I mean, there's going to be a lot going on that night anyway. So
yeah, I mean, if there was ever a night that he could take off, Saturday, New Jersey. So is he going to be at CZW Saturday? I wonder. I don't know, because CZW has their big show Saturday. Their big 19th anniversary show is this Saturday, which kudos to them for being around 19 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But they, something tells me that Saturday, We need to get something. Trevor, like I said, Trevor needs to come in there guns a-blazing. Somebody says, Taylor says, Eric is going to be in Jersey wrestling Ken Dixon. So I look at it this way. If Eric's not there, then you'll probably get Trevor just beating the hell out of Mace Lee or something like that. You know, there's no way they're going to give you.
Maybe he'll start at the bottom and work his way up to the top.
Yeah, I mean, because let's look at it this way. As big as this show is, you know, from a company standpoint, from a supporting CWF standpoint, it's not one of their quote-unquote big four, big five, whatever, how many big shows that they have. End of an era is. So if you're going to book a match between him and Roy, you know, maybe in a cage or something like that, whatever the case may be, because a lot of people are going, they just had a stipulation. Why would you book right into another stipulation? Well, because, you know, from the second we were sitting there at Battlecade, from the second you sat there and saw all the All-Stars staying out for Roy and Trevor's match, I don't know about you, but I knew right then and there that Trevor was going to retain and, you know, overcome the odds. I didn't know that Roy was going to steal the title, but I'm sitting there going, okay, the All-Stars are going to be all over this match, and it's all about Trevor Lee overcoming them. And it was, because Trevor still won that match. But now going into, hey, all you guys want to jump me, all you guys want to beat the hell out of me, you want to hang me from the ropes, blah, blah, blah. I got to find a way to keep you guys out, and the only way to really do that is a cage, you know?
I'd love to see like a pair of brass knuckles suspended from the cage too. That would be interesting.
Weapons match from a cage, yeah. You could do that. You could do, you know, knuckles. You could do kendo sticks. No Ethan Saturday as well, according to Wrestling God in the chat room. I wonder where Ethan's going to be. That's sad.
Who is going to be selling his shirts?
I know, right? Is he even going to have merch for sale Saturday? Why would you buy merch? He is in Jersey, too, for apparently this Capital Wrestling Federation or company or whatever.
Interesting.
That doesn't mean that the card's not going to be good. I'm sure Kane will be there. You know, Eric Andrews is always there. Ray Kandrak's been on a bit of a comeback as of late. So the show's still going to be good, even though no Ethan and no Eric Royal. Eric Royal will be in Chapel Hill. Are you guys planning on going to Chapel Hill? Because I think I'm going to end up having to skip that one.
Oh, yeah, we'll be there. I think we already got tickets for it.
Really?
Yep.
Good luck fighting that crowd off. Oof.
Boy, I'll tell you what, we went to the last Chapel Hill show, and, man, it was a madhouse. It was a really good show, man. Jim Nasty Boys were there at the last one, and Snooty Fox versus Eric Royal, and, they took it out into the parking lot and brought it all the way back into the ring. It was really good. Faye Jackson was also there, and actually tag teamed with Dirty Daddy. It was Faye Jackson and Dirty Daddy against Ethan Sharp and I can't remember who else.
Was it Kane?
But that was no. I can't remember who it was. But man, the whole night was fantastic, and they really set it up. Because
I just can't deal with those fans, man. I just couldn't deal with those fans, honestly.
And I'll tell you what, you know how Chapel Hill is, right?
Yeah.
So Snooty Fox comes out wearing his UNC attire. And what does Eric Royal stroll out to the ring? He's
Duke.
Got Mace Lee and Jerry Carey waving Duke flags, wearing Duke blue, and Eric Royal is wearing a Duke cape around his back with a hoodie, like a Duke hoodie on it with devil horns, and man, the crowd went ballistic.
My thing is with these Chapel Hill shows, if they're going to continue, I mean, it's obvious the only reason why they're really running there is to main event Snooty and Snooty draws there. But how much more can you continue to go and run that city? Yeah, they only do it a couple times a year. But from my standpoint, how many times a year can you continue to run there and put Snooty in the main event? Or not have Trevor, on the card either. You know?
If the reaction is what it was last time, you can do it as many times as you want. Because that place was packed. There wasn't a seat open in the house, and the fans were eating it up. And I mean, the fans were really getting into it. Security was running rampant, trying to keep people away from Eric Royal.
That's why I can't. A certain person at FanCon described it as Bebe's kids. That's all I'll say.
Well, all I know is I love it when the fans get that emotional about it. it's a hell of an experience. It wasn't negative. I'll put it like that. There was a lot of people there. The fans were a little rowdy, but it wasn't negative by any stretch of the imagination. Everybody was having a really good time. The wrestlers were working the crowd really, really hard. And there was like a lot of wrestler fan interaction, and, they were doing pictures, and it was all very positive. It was a little rowdy, but it was all really positive. It was a really fun show, and that's actually one of the first shows. I think it is the first show that I went to, because I don't know if you know, but Jason brought me to. That was the first match that he brought me to. Like, I had seen it a couple of times on Worldwide, but I'd never actually physically been to a match until that Chapel Hill show, and that is what really got me hooked. It was that live experience.
Like I tell
I think
people,
I've only missed 1 or 2 live shows since.
Yeah, I mean the one show you missed, I think, was Ultimate Survivor, and I got your spot. So
no, I made Ultimate Survivor.
Or was it the
show after that?
It was the show after, yeah. Somebody said, why not make oh man, my mind is blanking. Trevor versus Roy, a ladder match. Somebody goes, have you seen the infamous CW? The last ladder match they had was with like Cyrus versus Kirby Mack.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm just so ready for that match to happen. But I think you're absolutely right. I don't think it makes logical sense to put them together at CWF Strong. End of an Era probably makes more sense. Maybe they do something where they will put him up against like Mace Lee or some somebody from the bottom. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Trevor catches Coach out back or something. I don't know.
They need to do something that like I said, Trevor's got to come out guns a-blazing. If he doesn't come out there pissed off, and I'm not talking about just cutting a little promo, talking about blah, 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 and about the fans and about how he was, that's my title. I want my belt back. I want to see, I want to see some fucking furniture moving, It's one of those things.
I'm maybe even like silent rage. Maybe it's one of those things where he's so angry he just doesn't even have to say anything. He just walks out and wrecks house.
Or I'd be happy if like the show opened up with the All-Stars cutting a promo talking about, hey, we don't care about that $100 fine. We're rich as, we got all that money that we won in Vegas when everybody built, we said that we weren't walking out with the title, and technically we did walk out with the title, so we won all the money in Vegas with it, and then all of a sudden Trevor Lee just comes out of nowhere and just starts beating ass,
Yeah.
Something to that, to that effect.
Yeah, well, somebody pitched this to me on a DM last week, I believe, and they were saying, what do you think? And I figured, like, that's a really good question. I have no idea. I'll have to ask Joe this. And the question was, what do you think about a possible persona change for Trevor Lee? Like, this is a perfect opportunity for us to see a different side of Trevor Lee.
To tell you the truth,
animalistic rage and, like, is it possible that he could come out he could take what happened to him at Battlecade and come out as a completely different person, or at least a slightly altered one? Maybe Slim Shady to Eminem. You know what I mean?
To tell you the truth, I think he's been doing that for ever since before Absolute Justice last year. I'll say Pete and his co-host over at This Week in Wrestling, I got to put him over for something this week. I know I've been kind of harsh against those guys, but the one thing that they did get right when they were reviewing the Battlecade match was that nobody came out to help Trevor from that locker room.
Right.
Not the aftermath, nobody came out to help him. And Trevor has been on this whole cocky prick attitude, and I've said it since ever since the feud with him and Nick Richards going into Absolute Justice last year. I said Trevor was the heel in that program. Hell, Brad Stutz even said Trevor was the heel in that program. He goes, that's exactly what happened. He started to act heel. And this whole cocky fucking attitude, like, I'm the champ, no one can fucking touch me. I've ran over everybody in the company. Nobody has, stepped up to him. Nobody could touch him. I think we've seen a transformation over the last 6 months. And I'm not saying that he has to go full on Sting, with the face paint and everything.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the crow.
But maybe we see that Trevor Lee of, okay, y'all turn your back on me, I'm going to turn my back on you and just hang out, be gone for a while. And then all of a sudden come back and take the title from Roy, like I said, he doesn't need to go full on Crow gimmick. He doesn't need to, wear face paint, but the concept can still be done. None of you,
right.
You're right. You know what? Now that you think of it, that's another option. Maybe he doesn't have to come out guns a-blazing and I want the fucking title. Maybe Trevor could sit there and come out there and put a chair in the middle of the ring, sit down, look around at people. They're chanting Trevor, Trevor. And he just all of a sudden has to, look around and maybe he just drops the mic and walks away. And then maybe the next week on Worldwide, we see another promo where he's like, none of y'all came out to help me. I got pretty much slaughtered in the ring after winning that match. None of y'all came out to help me. If y'all ain't coming out to help me, I'm not coming out to help you. If you don't care about me, I don't care about you. Maybe he fades away for a little while. That's totally possible.
Definite possibility. Or even if you take it the other way around, and let's say they do have the no holds barred match against Roy Wilkins, and then after that he cuts that promo and says, "Oh, by the way, I'm not forgetting that not one of you came out to help me that night, and I'm coming for each of you too."
Mm-hmm.
And he just that could be another angle. Like there's so many options here, and all of them are awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's to me it's sitting here like I'm sitting here going, there's so many places Trevor could go, and let's not forget, folks, Trevor books his own shit, So, I mean, I'm sure that whoever has the book, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, whoever has that book right now probably asks Trevor, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? But as Bruce Mitchell said, for the last 2 years that he's had that belt now, March it'll be 2 years. So for the last 2 years he's had that belt, he's booked his own programs. And like I said a couple weeks ago, it makes me wonder if Battlecade was his booking or somebody else's booking,
Right.
Because there's a lot of people out there that didn't like the Battlecade storyline. They didn't like the fact that Roy stole the title and that The Office went a whole episode of Worldwide without saying anything about it, So it's one of those things where there's a lot of things that can happen. There's a lot of variables there. I'm excited. The problem with CWF that I have with CWF is that I put too much in my own head. From a standpoint of I end up trying to book this thing like it's WWE, and then when I go to the show, I get brought down to earth.
Right.
I kind of set myself up for disappointment because I'm sitting there going, okay, they need to do this, and this, and then none of it happens. Not saying that what does happen isn't great, because it always is, but you know what I mean.
And that to me is also kind of a good thing. Like I'm somebody that if I'm watching a detective show, I'm trying to figure out who the killer is in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I love it when I cannot predict the ending. Like I know who the killer is 15 minutes into any episode of whatever detective show you want to put on. And I love it when I get fooled, when I don't know who the killer is, when I don't know how it's going to end. I love it. That's really entertaining for me. I love being kept guessing. And that's one thing that CWF actually does really well is they always, I did not think that Trevor Lee was going to retain the belt at the Rumble. Didn't think it was going to happen. I thought that was going to be Kane Justice's belt.
Really?
I was wrong.
See,
yeah.
we kind of, at FanCon, everybody, when they booked that match, when they booked the Rumble, everybody knew Trevor was going over. Everybody did. That was there live or at FanCon. And Sophia brought up a good point to Brad and Grant that while we know what's going to happen, how you get there is what we get invested in and what we love so much. And that freaking delivered, man. That delivered so much. How they got to Trevor winning that match was awesome. The same thing with Battlecade. When I realized that all the All-Stars were going to be out there for that first blood match because it's no DQ and everything, I knew what the ending was going to be. But how they got there was awesome. How they got there didn't, I didn't care if I knew in my head what was going to happen. This is one of those situations where we don't know what's going to happen. It's not clear cut. And I feel like we haven't been there with Trevor Lee for a long time. So to me, it's refreshing to see a situation, a quote-unquote storyline, if you will, where Trevor could get his ass whipped again. Trevor could go full-on Crow Sting. Trevor could come out there and just guns a-blazing, you know?
I think that the element of there's just no way to know, I think that really adds to the suspense. And I think that's going to make, when it eventually does happen, when you do eventually get Roy Wilkins in the ring alone with Trevor Lee, I think that's going to make that match all the better.
Yeah, like I said, it's definitely getting. I don't think they're going to see it. Sophia Moon says, "I want Trevor versus Ray Kandrak." I want to see that too.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but when I sat there and watched Ray tonight, I did not get it so much live, but on Worldwide, when he's like, "Okay, bye guys," whatever the case may be. I'm sitting there going, I detect a little Kevin Steen in his mannerisms, in the way he delivers his little promo there, in the way he wrestles. It's like that badass prize-fighting Kevin Steen that we got, you know, in Ring of Honor sometimes. And I hope it continues, because Ray Kandrak is probably, he's golly, man, he's one of the best that CWF has. And the
crowd loves him too, especially when you're doing live. Like, the crowd goes nuts when Kendrick steps out.
Yeah, Taylor in the chat room says C.W. Anderson versus Trevor. That's a match that I thought we were getting at Ultimate Survivor, just based on the way they built it up. And then out of the blue, it was going to be like, you know, the triathlon match, and I'm just like, we still have not gotten C.W. Anderson versus Trevor Lee out of that, you know. So, it's one of those things that there's a lot of possibilities they could go to with Trevor in 2018. We still could get Chip Day versus Trevor Lee Part 2. The Chronodal Cup is coming up, so that's they moved that to, I believe, the middle of April or the beginning of April.
Man, that's going to be. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a 2-night event, or not a 2-night event. It's 1 night, 2 shows, or 1 day, 2 shows. Only thing I keep sitting here going is, I better save some of this tax money for tickets.
There you go.
You know, I was able
what tax money?
Yeah, it is like that's not the tax refund. That's the CWF refund right there.
There you go.
In fact, I'm sitting here going, do I really need a Nintendo Switch again that badly? Because I barely played the first one I had. So, John Schuyler versus Chip Day versus Trevor in a triple threat. That could be good. That's an Evolve match right there for me more than it is a CWF match, though. Just because I don't see CWF booking like that ever. You know, regardless of who has the book, they don't throw people together just for the sake of throwing people together. And the fact that John Schuyler is even on this card Saturday shocks the piss out of me. Because when we saw him at the Rumble, that was the first time we had seen him since the previous year's Rumble. So the fact that Schuyler's working, twice within a 1-year period, or a 6-month time frame shocks the hell out of me for CWF. He's normally a PWX guy and works everywhere, Granted, he's been at CWF a lot of times in the past, but for, just recent purposes, I'm shocked that we're seeing him this soon. Him and Chet, though, man. Him and Chet, Mario, that match right there makes me want to giggle, like a little schoolgirl on paper. It's just freaking, I'm sitting
Absolutely.
there, I'm looking at my notes, and I have Chet versus John Schuyler, and I have, exclamation points right after it, because it's, freaking amazing.
Yeah, I saw that announcement earlier, and man... And I mean, anytime Chet wrestles, it's a show. Like he's just a really energetic wrestler. But yeah, putting him up against Schuyler, that's going to be an epic match. I can't wait to see that one.
You gotta wonder how the pace of that match is going to go, because Schuyler, while he can do a lot of the flippity flu, he can also slow the pace down. So just from that aspect of things, I'm kind of curious to see at what pace this match goes, what they give us as far as moves. Of course, you're going to see Chet diving and flipping around, but Schuyler,
right.
Schuyler here lately, the past couple times I've seen Schuyler live, he doesn't do a whole lot of that. Somebody asked, did Schuyler work in Chapel Hill? I don't think he did. You were there, did you?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't remember anyway.
They ran 2 shows in Chapel Hill last year. So I don't know. He may have worked the spring show, but it just, and the Hurricane versus Brad Attitude, I have my reservations on, because is the Hurricane going to dial it up to 11 like he should? We know Brad Attitude's going to deliver. Brad Attitude versus Chet was the best match on the Battlecade card, bar none.
What makes you think Helms won't deliver?
Because Helms is the type of guy that's not seen around there that often, and just based on the last few times I've seen him work, we don't need to have the what's up with that and the whole, we can have the Hurricane gimmick, but I want to see him work. I want to see him wrestle. I don't want to see him, goof off. This is not him versus Brad Attitude is not a goof off match, in my opinion.
See, and that was where I was getting at. Like, I feel like if they were going to pit it as one of those things where it's just, hey, we have Hurricane, and that's all you really need to know, and just be entertained with that fact alone.
It's not gonna,
they wouldn't put him up against Brad Attitude, because Brad Attitude's not going to let that happen. He's not going to let the match boil down to fluff.
And if it does,
and that's what's really good about. Yeah, if it does, I mean, poo-poo, but I highly doubt that's where that's going. I feel like Helms is going to come out guns blazing.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if that match goes in there, I know we're gonna get the whole what's up with that and all that mess, but if we get a goofy character gimmicky style match instead of the hard hitting match that I think this could be, because Hurricane, let's not forget, folks, Hurricane can work his ass off when he wants to. Aside from the Hurricane gimmick, that's part of me wishes that it wasn't the Hurricane. Part of me wishes it was like Sugar Shane or something like that, or even just Shane Helms without the damn superhero gimmick. Because I know Helms can deliver. But if we go in there and we get a gimmicky match to where they're just going through the motions, you're going to hear me go apeshit on this after show. I mean,
well, I'll put it like this. When he beat Eric Royal, that match didn't strike me as gimmicky.
Yeah, it didn't. I mean, we got the what's up with that and everything, but
right, he was in character, but it wasn't gimmicky. He and his, like, when they asked him about it after when CL Party was interviewing after the match, when he said, "I will be here to defend this title," there was an air of sincerity in his voice, also, and I feel like he's further than the further than the just the gimmicky stuff. Like, I feel like he's going to stay for a while. Like, I don't feel like this is going to be a defend it once or twice thing. I think he'll be there for a while.
Somebody says that Taylor in the chat room says he's going to win. I know what Attitude won't get the belt. If anybody does, I think it should be Eric. Sophia Moon goes, I think Ethan should take it from Helms. And then somebody says Eric didn't have it long enough. Eric didn't have it long enough. Eric doesn't need the title. That's the thing. Eric Royal is so good, he doesn't need that belt. And Sophia goes, Eric is above the TV belt. Yes, he is. I look at it this way. I would be shocked if Brad Attitude, because here's the thing. Brad has been semi-retired. You've only seen him once or twice a year for the last couple of years, since the Trevor Lee versus, we only saw him a handful of times in 2017 is what I'm getting at. He's kind of, rumor was that he was kind of semi-retired because, he had other things he was into. Understandable. Everybody's got a life, but the company's in a situation where they need everybody that they can get. They need all hands on deck. And something tells me that Hurricane is not the type of person. A, can they afford to pay him each and every appearance? Unless he's cutting them, a hell of a deal. But that's none of my business. But I think Brad could do some good with the TV title. I don't think it's one of those situations where is Brad Attitude above the TV title? Yeah. But is it going to hurt him to have it? No. Is it going to hurt the title for him to have it? No. But I would be shocked if Hurricane retains that belt. If he does, then good. I'm glad to see him stick around. Like you said, I'm glad to see him stick around. It's going to be interesting to see him stick around. It's going to make him eat the words of everybody who said, oh, but he, the first thing was, when he won that belt, the first thing, everybody on the internet was like, well, he's not going to, this was a shoot thing. He's not going to defend it, so it doesn't really mean much for him winning that title. And I'm just sitting there going, okay, you haven't seen the match. You haven't seen the promo he's cut after the match saying that he's going to be defending the title at least once. So, carrying on from what I've been saying,
To be clear, what he said was, as long as I hold this title, I will be back to defend it.
Yeah.
And so that kind of leads you to believe it's going to be more than once.
Somebody said the after show here this week is going to be 3 times longer than the actual show. Hey, I had no problem with that show only going 38 minutes tonight. I'll say it again. I had no problem with that show going 38 minutes tonight. It was short, sweet.
It gets the job done.
The matches were great. So, I'm excited for Saturday too, Taylor. I really am. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be there, what's going to happen. The Dirty Daddy heel turn in Chapel Hill, though, I think is just apparent. It needs to be done. Dirty Daddy needs it to, to be quite honest with you. Because once again this week, it looked like he was kind of brushed to the side. It was all about Kandrak and Donnie Dollars, This is the second match in a row where that Dirty Daddy has been in that he's kind of gotten, he's an afterthought, kind of. So, Sophia says, I'm making the long drive, 4 hours there, 4 hours back. And I can tell you this, Sophia, as a fan, who loves the promotion, I appreciate that dedication as a fan, and I know this promotion appreciates that dedication. I know not everybody can drive, 1-2 hours, whatever the case. Hell, I'm lucky that I only live an hour away,
Right, I'm right there in that same boat.
But
what was it? Was it Miller saying earlier that he was 6 or 7 hours away?
Yeah, he's all the way down in Georgia. So
I'll tell you what, and he's at a lot of the shows. So to tell you the truth, you want dedication, there it is.
Well,
that dude's dedicated.
Miller came to 2 shows last year. Sophia drives a lot. Sophia used to come to every show, but now she lives in East Tennessee, she said in the chat room. East Tennessee is not that, 4 hours is a hell of a lot more than 6 or 8 hours. That Georgia traffic, man. Just getting out of the state of Georgia takes about 2 hours alone sometimes.
Ain't that the truth? I feel like I've seen Miller more times than that. But
no,
either way, like even if it was only twice.
He was at
wow.
He was at Battlecade, and then I think his parents told me that he came back in March too. And Sophia, Sophia was the very first VIP fan. The VIP section used to be her, and then when Ethan held the RGL title, he would sit next to her and watch the shows in the little behind the velvet ropes.
Yeah, I also don't think I've been to one show that Sophia was not at.
You've been to a couple. She wasn't at the last one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but she says she'll be there. She says she'll be there. So.
Yeah, what's amazing though is the fans really do love this promotion, and that is it's a beautiful thing. Like it's all the support that CWF is getting right now. It's heartwarming.
And I'm excited,
especially coming up on a show like CWF Strong.
I'm excited to see that support kind of, back building, if you will, because there was a couple weeks there where I, like I said, I had to come out there and play bad guy. I had to turn into a heel when it came to the internet fans, which is my audience. The internet are, the internet fans are my audience. That's what this after show is for. But I had to kind of come down on them the last few weeks with just jumping the gun and jumping to conclusions. And, it's one of those things where I think now that those 3 weeks of Worldwide have aired from that one show, yes, they had a couple technical problems. Yes, they had a buzzing in the ear with the microphone, and they had a sync issue with the commentary last week. But from what I was told, they kind of know what caused it. They're working to resolve it. And hopefully, as I said...
Yeah, I've also heard that they're taking active steps to fixing all of those problems.
Yeah.
So
I'll go ahead and say it. I'm not going to say who told me, but it was the crow's nest camera that caused that buzzing delay over the commentary track, from what I was told. And, it's one of those things where, and then I heard another podcast talking about how the cameramen need to get adjusted and they didn't shoot it right, and it's not the same as Grant. You know what? It's not the same as Grant. It's not going to be the same as Grant. I said it again. No, I'll say it again. Nobody can replace a Grant Sawyer. He's one of a kind.
I'll tell you what, though, there has been a couple of good highlights. That one shot that they got, what was it, last week's episode, where they got behind the stands, and who was it? Was it Cool J that came flying out?
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a cool shot. I don't care who you are. That was a cool shot that they got. So you're right that no one will ever replace Grant, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that the guys that they have running it right now doesn't mean with some coaching and with some training and a little bit of experience, a little bit more experience, that they can't enter into their own the same way Grant did.
I know that the last show that they did, the New Year's Knockout show, they ran the same night as PWX, and Josh Baer, who normally referees and works that floor camera, he was at PWX helping out. He had gotten a request to help out there, and he went and helped out there. So I'm hoping Josh Baer will be back, because that floor camera is, not the same. And from what I don't know if Josh I don't know if Josh is going to be there Saturday. I hope he is working the camera, because they definitely right now need his expertise. So they Taylor in the chat room says it was her dad working that camera. So her dad, Steve, is normally a photographer, but he's been known to work hard cam as well, taking over for Grant sometimes, or taking over for the floor camera. I thought that they did a good job, Look at it this way. CWF could have looked at this whole thing and said, okay, that's the end of Worldwide. Because at the end of the day, from a promoter standpoint, they're not making any money doing this. They don't make a dime off of it, from what I, gather. The way YouTube is nowadays, YouTube ain't paying them shit. They could have scrapped Worldwide altogether after this whole kerfluffle happened, but they didn't. They're sticking with it. It's not going anywhere. It's not like it's a bunch of guys out there with their daddies, like you would see 2002 backyarders do. It's not like that, So. Not
only that though, but what I can say is I've met the top brass at CWF, and I know their level of professionalism and how seriously they take all this. Not only did they not scrap it, but I have absolute faith and confidence that they're going to take this opportunity to improve it well beyond what it ever was.
I think the first, and I know money doesn't grow on trees, but they need new headsets for commentary. That's the first thing I think they need to invest in. So I think that, but then again, like I said, money doesn't grow on trees, and they're going to invest in the live product, and they're going to invest in those fans coming to the arenas. So Taylor just asked who Wrestling God is, and he goes, "I'll tell you Saturday," and she's like, "That's creepy." Stop being a creepy old man, Wrestling God. Anyway, you know who he is, Taylor. I'll just say that. But I mean, it's they need to invest, but from a promoter standpoint, it's always been about that live crowd. They are never going to take they're never going to sit there and put Worldwide over drawing a live house, because their money comes from people who buy the tickets, who make the drives, and who pack that building. Without that, there would be no CWF. So, of course, that's your main priority. That's where your money's coming in. Worldwide is not their top priority, guys. Never has been. Whether Brad was there, Grant was there, who was doing the camera, who was doing the editing, that was not from, I hate to throw their names out there, but from Jeff and Danny's point of view, I can't speak for them, but I could pretty much tell you that if I'm a promoter, if I was in their shoes, Worldwide comes second. The live shows come first,
I think you're right as far as prioritization goes. However, I know, all I can say is, like, I've spoken with them, and I understand where they're coming from just the level of professionalism that they have and the level of love that they have. I truly believe that not only are they going to, they're definitely going to prioritize their live house. You're absolutely right about that. But I think they're going to take this opportunity to make Worldwide 10 times better than it ever was. I think they are going, like, this is my opinion. I don't know, if it's going to happen or not. But I think they absolutely will invest in, making Worldwide bigger, better. Like, I think they're absolutely going to take time, because they also know that there is an online community, and those are part of their fan base. And a lot of their fan base that come to live shows also watch Worldwide. And not only that, but when fans can't make it to the show, Worldwide is their only connection.
Mm-hmm.
So I know for a fact that they will not let, and this is just from a professionalism standpoint, what I know about them from speaking with them, is I know that they're not going to let those fans down by letting the quality of Worldwide slip when they have the opportunity to improve it. I have a very strong feeling that they're going to take every opportunity to make Worldwide into something that it even wasn't before everything happened. So that's my opinion.
And I think you're absolutely right. They have seen it's not like they turned a blind eye to how much their audience grew in 2017 and the late part of 2016 to 2017. Even now, they got. No, it's not Kane Justice Taylor. She's trying to figure out. I don't know if you're looking at our chat room right now, but he's creepy. They're bashing Wrestling God, and they're like, he's even creepier in person. And somebody goes,
there's a new bumper sticker idea. Who is Wrestling God?
Who is the Wrestling God?
That's right.
I know everybody's like, it's all women that find him creepy. And I'm just like, why do you think my girlfriend stopped coming to shows? And Wrestling God's like, because you won't buy her VIP. And I'm like, that's kind of true. To tell you the truth, I asked her if she wanted to go Saturday. We got the tax return and got a little bit of money. We could have afforded it, but she's like, no, I'll just stay home. I'm like, are you sure? No, I'll be there by myself Saturday. So,
well, we're with you. We're with you, Joe.
You guys can give me T-shirts, but you can't give her what she gives me. That's all I'll say.
Nor would I ever want to.
Hey, now. Now this
that
is
one
getting
time
creepy.
way back, that doesn't count.
No, it doesn't, man. I mean, the men's bathroom at the Sportatorium will never be the same again. Anyway.
No, they should really fix that toilet, too.
They should, man. That thing creaks like a motherfucker when you go to flush it. Anyway. Now the show is getting creepy. Anyway. Hey, if this was the ECW arena, people would be questioning if this was actually true. That's the thing. They know this is all bullshit.
Just to clarify, this is all joking.
Yeah, this is bullshit, guys. Kayfabe, Mario. Kayfabe, man. Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry.
Anyway. So, it's Cecil, right? And somebody saying it's Cecil. Somebody saying Wrestling God is Pops. If Pops listens to the after show, if Pops were to listen to the after show, man, he would put my faith back in old people, in technology. That's all I'll say. But I just think
it's not even sharp.
It's not sharp. Anyway, but from what you were saying about Worldwide, they're not going to neglect the Worldwide audience, and the fact that it's sticking around is proof of it. When at the Rumble, we had people coming from as far as Minnesota to pay a ticket to see you. That's how you know that the effect of Worldwide is working. So why would they get rid of a chance to grow their fan base and get more people,
Right. I also think that might be part of the reason why there is Shane Helms where Shane Helms is right now.
Yeah, I mean,
because that makes for some really good Worldwide.
It does, and the thing is that everybody heard who, I'm not going to mention him again, but there was a certain podcast out there when he goes, Shane Helms is now their TV champion. The guy's co-host just groans, And I'm not going to get into the diatribe of, hey, have some faith, because I think our faith, I think the online community's faith has kind of been restored in the company with the last 2 episodes of Worldwide, despite the audio issues. But I don't think Shane is holding that belt for long. I don't think that like I said, it would shock me if he even.
Man, I hope you're wrong.
I want to see him stick around too, but I think he just, I don't think he's making, and again, this is none of my business. I'm just pissing in the wind here, but I think he doesn't make as much money in CWF as he could other indies. And are you going to risk, working at CWF where you're pretty much doing a favor to somebody, or are you going to take another booking in, Chicago or somewhere else who wants to book you, and you can make more money? It's just one of those things where money talks, and it's going to come down to that point. So, it's one of those things where I don't think he'll have it long. Would I like to see him with it? Yes. Is it going to be interesting to see it in CWF? Hey, we got the Hurricane as a CWF regular. Hell yeah, that'd be awesome. I do think the Hurricane gets a bad rap because it's the Hurricane, I think the superhero gimmick gives him, in 2018, the superhero gimmick, gives him a bad rap, which perplexes me when you have a man out there drawing money by flipping people with his dick. How is a superhero, worse than that? Or, we have... Especially
in the age of Marvel Comics and, Avengers and, it seems like it's a pretty good idea for a gimmick in 2018.
Somebody said, happy Thursday, damn. Well, we hit midnight. So I want to thank you so much, from Mario, for the call. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here because we have been going for an hour and a half.
Absolutely.
I will
Time flies when you're talking wrestling.
That's right, man. And I'm happy that you called in. I'm to talk about wrestling here on the air with you, or in person whenever you want to, okay?
Absolutely. Real quick, I just want to remind everybody, pick up your CWF Strong shirt. Be there Saturday, February 10th. I'd love to see everybody there. Come and talk to us. Joe, thank you for your time, man. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. I got VIP tonight. I'm hoping I get a big comfy chair, and I'm hoping they put me next to you guys again. Is your dad coming this time?
Yeah, he's coming too, and I'll put in a word, see if I can get you next to us.
Sweet. Since you have some pull now, go ahead and do that then.
A little bit. Might be able to swing it. No guarantee.
Awesome. All right, man. I'll see you Saturday.
Yep. Have a good one, buddy.
Bye-bye. That's Mario there from American Lucha Designs. Again, if you guys need some graphic design working done, they can hook you up. AmericanLuchaDesigns.com. Our other sponsor, Bullocks Engraving. For all your engraving needs based out of Henderson, North Carolina, visit BullocksEngraving.com. Mention that you heard about them from the CWF AfterShow. You get 10% off your order. AfterShow is going to still be going when I have to start driving to the show. Jason's got to be passed out drunk by now. Yeah, I haven't gone this long in a while. I'm happy to go this long. I like it. I like when callers call in and I can chat with them. But we're going to call it a night. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. For my Patreon supporters, I got to plug my Patreon here. $1 a month gets you all the content over there on the Patreon channel, or on the Patreon site, patreon.com/Pillar to Post Live. Too bad I don't get paid by the hour. Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to find a place that will pay me by the hour here, and it sucks. I wish this job did pay me. Or I wish this podcast did pay me by the hour. But speaking of paying me, you can pay me by the month. $1 a month. You will join my $1 warriors. And there's a video coming out tomorrow where I'm going to be doing kind of like a raw commentary over a popular wrestling documentary that aired on the Discovery Channel way back in the year 2000, about 18 years ago. And I'll give you a hint. It was shot in California. That's all I'll say. That's all I'm going to say. If you want to find out what documentary it is, $1 a month gets you hooked up with that. $1 a month also will get you hooked up with the audio version of the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show. It's the only place you're going to be able to get that. So people want to know who Wrestling God is. That's the big mystery of the show. Keep listening every week. Maybe one day you will find out who the infamous Wrestling God is. He's been here with this After Show pretty much since day one. And I want to thank you, Wrestling God, for doing that. for listening each and every week. I want to thank all of you guys and gals for listening each and every week. You guys are the reason why I do this. No, it's not the Unreal Story. That aired on A&E. Anyway, gonna stop taking guesses. But anyway, if you want to find out, $1 a month, and you'll find out. It's a really good documentary, in fact. I'm looking forward to watching it and giving my little commentary over it. Trying to think of more ways to reward you guys for the Patreon account. I really very much appreciate all of you who sign up there and become one of my $1 warriors. Hit the like button and hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you haven't done so already. For those of you watching on Twitch, hit that follow button if you haven't done so already, and share our content. Please help spread the word about this show and about this channel. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. I love each and every one of y'all so much for listening each and every week. I look forward to doing this so much on Wednesday. In the month of May, April or May, we're going to be celebrating our 52nd episode. Now, why 52nd? That means we've been doing this for 1 year. And I believe it's going to be a packed show. I'm trying to work on getting some people who haven't been on in a while to come on. So that's coming up in a couple months. So keep your ears and eyes peeled for that one. Going to go ahead and wrap it up here for today. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you at the Sportatorium.